If you could cast a dinner party, 4 guests, who you invite? And you don't say me.
I'd definitely bring Elon. He's one of my favorite people to talk to. I don't know.
People I know that know him really do like him a lot.
I like him a lot. He's a sweet dude.
I gotta say, that night when we were all just sitting around talking, he's one of these guys who seems actually shy.
Well, he's
I don't know if shy is the word, but
he's not. He doesn't need attention.
No, which is an anomaly in our walk of life.
But he's cool to talk to. He's genuinely there. He's not like, even though I'm a moron in comparison to him, when I talk to him, he'll talk to me in a normal way. He'll just communicate. Like, I'll go, well, how do they do that? And he'll explain it. And I go, what is interesting about that to you? And then we'll have these weird conversations where he'll explain his thought process about what's intriguing about something, or what made him interested in pursuing something.
And he doesn't mind explaining these things.
Not at all.
That's
no,
interesting.
not at all.
Sometimes you think a person like that would lose patience with your layman intellect.
Exactly.
And he does not.
Does not.
He was explaining to me that night we were hanging out how they decide when and where to do a launch from. I got to tell you, I have a public school education. That was tedious. I was going to write a Saturday Night Live to you. Oh, we don't explain that shit on the show. Let's get it.
That becomes a problem with people that are really smart, is that some of the subjects do get tedious.
Like, I read in some article that Albert Einstein used to fuck a lot of bitches.
Yeah, so did Richard Feynman.
Yeah, that just made me laugh, like Einstein picking up girls at a bar.
Controversy sells.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah. But how do we, this is probably one of the most racially divisive times in my memory, in my lifetime. I don't remember things being, everybody's worried about everything being racist. Every single thing that anyone does. Syrup is racist. Pancakes are racist.
Oh, it's evolved into all the... You saw this Trader Joe's story, right?
You were telling me earlier.
It's wild. So Trader Joe's is called Trader Joe's, right? Which is not racist, I guess. But apparently they have Mexican products that they were calling Trader Jose's. And some bored person in their basement decided to create a petition that got signed by some 2,400 other bored people about why it shouldn't be called Trader Jose's because that's racist. Mm-hmm. So apparently it's cultural appropriation if you're Trader Joe's and you make a burrito. But if you call it Trader Jose's, then that's, I think they called it exoticizing Mexican people. Yeah, it's making them exotic and other. So Trader Joe's pulled it down. Trader Joe's is gonna not use this anymore.
17-year-old called out. 17-year-old called out Trader Joe's. Now the chain is dropping offensive labeling.
Offensive to whom? Who? Like, how many Hispanics were picketing outside Trader Joe's being, now that I saw that Trader Jose beer.
All right, listen, I'm Italian. Do you think Papa Gino's, is that really, is that really an Italian who made that company? Like, how many different, different pizza companies and all these, not run by Italians at all?
Honest to God, I'd love to see the racial breakdown of the people who signed this petition. I would bet 90% of them are white.
Yeah,
90%, right?
White, live in the suburbs, hate their parents. Yeah. What did you say? What was the word they used for it?
Exoticizing.
Exoticizing.
I think, they said, yeah.
Oh my God, that is so adorable. Exoticizing.
So you believe in UFOs? You believe that the government's hiding stuff from us?
I don't disbelieve. I don't disbelieve, but I don't believe.
Listen,
I think it's possible.
Can I give you my opinion?
Yes, please.
I don't believe the universe just chose us to be the only one.
Yeah.
Look at these guys. They're so special. They're going to be the only one in existence.
You know what,
and nobody in trillions of miles away is going to be existing but them. Trillions of miles. I mean, from the end of time, there's nobody going to ever exist but us. We're going to handle all this space by ourselves. You believe that?
No, I don't believe
so
that.
10 million miles of space, there's nobody. 1 billion miles of space, there's nobody but us.
I think there's definitely some shit visiting us over the course of human history.
Maybe they're unconscious.
This morning, I saw a
We
video.
were talking about it right before the podcast about the guy in India. He was trying to convert them, apparently, Jamie was saying, and they shot him full of arrows. One of the last uncontacted tribes in the world.
But what a doofus. What'd you think was going to happen, right?
Jamie said the guy's been there
The Joe
before, right?
Rogan
Did you say that?
So they knew him?
The other thing
The
is,
guy, well, I don't know if the people that killed him knew him. Wouldn't they say there's between 50 and 100 people on this island, I believe? See if you can get a good article on it. Is that the number? So there's like 50 or 50 to 150 people. They don't exactly know. And they came there, say from... It's the size of Manhattan. It's an island, and they came there from Africa. Like what is it, like 60,000 years ago?
That's what I read. I don't remember exactly where the article.
And this
I read
is
earlier,
near
but-
India.
Yeah, somewhere in India or near India, some island. But what kind of this fucking dude was trying to bring him to Jesus, and they said if you like the guy, we'll introduce you to him.
I shouldn't really get
They
into
filled that motherfucker full of. Oh wow, it's in the middle of nowhere.
Oh, that's
Okay,
fun.
well,
That bitch is in the middle of nowhere. So they came off of Africa. That's crazy.
How the fuck
Spread
did
that
they
out so I can
leave?
go see all that shit. That's crazy.
A sacred
Yeah.
moment.
You know what's interesting too? In England, they call people from India Asians.
There are people
They
out
think of
there
that as
now
Asia.
Because it is.
Yeah,
right?
'cause it
Part
is
of
Asia, yeah.
But we got weird with
trying to
Oriental
rediscover
at some point in
that.
time. Oriental
And-
became
and again, I don't want to digress
derogatory,
too much
some
into
weird
this
way.
now
Yeah.
because I-
Oriental was
I would
normal,
really
like
Yeah.
Oriental
rather
rugs. That was like
be able
a
to give
thing.
whole
You could go to
treatment
Oriental
of it.
rugs.
That might kinda
That's like
derail
if
us
someone
a
was
little bit
saying,
from
you know,
this,
spit
but
toothpaste.
there
Like,
are
hey,
people who've been
hey,
working on these
motherfucker, you
things
can't say that shit
for
anymore.
decades
But at
now.
one point in time,
Basically
Oriental was
in
like a
secret.
total.
It was a real thing.
Yeah, it was part
And
of
I've
the
had
language.
the privilege of talking to some of these
But so
people
now
over the
we
last
say
6 or
Asian
7
because we
years.
try to be politically correct.
And right
But
now, as we're
Asia's
speaking, there's a
fucking
group of people
giant.
who
There's a lot of different kinds of
We're
folks in
basically
Asia.
going to
you know?
open source a whole
The
lot
Joe
of stuff
Rogan
in the next
experience.
3 months. The other thing
So it
is,
can never get
suppressed again.
We talk about these
And that's
ancient
why I'd like to come
technologies.
back and talk in
Well,
more
I'd
detail.
love to
We're
have
only
you come
looking
back
for a
and talk
mere
about it, but we
reflection of
gotta talk about it a
ourselves.
little
We
bit
could
now.
overlook it completely because
okay.
there is. Well, I think there's evidence that exists. There's a laboratory right now. Some modern researchers whose work has been building prototypes buried or suppressed technological principles. I think we're getting very close, which are based on implosion rather than explosion. Our ancient ancestors, the inspiration for this, and maybe this would be worth a whole. Tesla's ideas are very much. We could dive into this. I don't want to get into that. Tesla's ideas are very much a part of it.
What kind of technologies are you talking about?
So is I don't know if you ever Victor Schauberger. Well, I just work with water. I shouldn't really get into
Get into it.
Get into
Come
it,
on.
Randall.
We got to get into
Look
it.
at okay. Well,
We've
could you
opened
look
the door,
up
sir.
Victor? Oh, I have the. Well, I have the cable now, don't I?
Take it back. Let me find it.
Well, no.
Passing the HDMI
Let me pull something
A sacred
up
moment.
here and.
I think the key thing is we're looking at technologies that are not the same as ours.
There are people
And that's
out
partly
there now
why
who've
archaeologists
been
can't see
working
them
on
because they're looking for us in the
trying
past,
to
and they're not
rediscover
open to the possibility that there are whole other kinds of
and
technology.
again, I don't want to
that could be
digress
used.
too
I
much
always
into this now because I would really rather be able to give a whole treatment of it, and it might kind of derail us a little bit from this. But there are people who've been working on these things for decades now, basically in secret. And I've had the privilege of talking to some of these people over the last 6 or 7 years. And right now, as we're speaking, there's a group of people who are basically going to open source a whole lot of stuff in the next 3 months, so it can never get suppressed again. And that's why I'd like to come back and talk in more detail.
Well, I'd love to have you come back and talk about it, but we got to talk about it a little bit now.
Okay. Well, there's a laboratory right now in the Maldives that's been building prototypes using these technological principles, which are based on implosion rather than explosion. And the inspiration for this...
Tesla's ideas are part of it, I think you mentioned.
Tesla's ideas are very much a part of it. Yes, Tesla's ideas are very much a part of it. So is, I don't know if you ever, Victor Schauberger, who did the work with water and discovered, look at, Jamie, could you look up Victor? Oh, I have the cable now, don't I?
Take it back. Let me find it.
Well, no. Let me pull something up here and.
I think the key thing is we're looking at technologies that are not the same as ours.
Yes.
And that's partly why archaeologists can't see them, because they're looking for us in the past, and they're not open to the possibility that there are whole other kinds of technology that could be used.
Right.
I always...
The Joe Rogan experience.
I just don't see how a gay marriage in any way damages a straight marriage. I don't see it at all. It doesn't make any sense to me. It just seems to me that people want to be... look, if you wanted to look at logic, especially in our modern society, which is pretty fucked when it comes to relationships, it's somewhere in the neighborhood of 50% of all marriages end in divorce anyway. They don't make it. You know, I don't know if anything would damage marriage and damage the institution of marriage is the option of divorce. I don't think gay people getting married in any way, shape, or form changes a bond that you have with your wife. It's just called marriage. It's a human invented thing. If we decide that gay people can get married too, I just don't see how it damages anything. I don't think it tears down the definition of marriage in any way. It just opens up the possibility that people who are gay won't be discriminated against.
Yeah, I don't think that a gay couple existing directly impacts. You know, there's a gay couple and wherever, and I'm with my wife in our house. Like obviously,
Right.
there's not. But I'm not talking about on the individual level. I'm talking about on the societal level.
Right.
I would agree that divorce, especially this no fault divorce, rampant divorce. I don't think it's as high as 50%. I know that's often quoted. I'm not sure where that comes from, but it is high. It's too high. And
Chris Rock has a great joke about that. He said those are just the people with the courage to get out. He's like, how many cowards stay?
But it's also true that the advocates for what we call now traditional marriage, which I just call marriage, but the advocates for traditional marriage put themselves at a disadvantage by especially in the churches, like allowing this rampant divorce to occur. And then you've already sort of given up on some marriage is supposed to be monogamous and permanent, as well as procreative. Well, you've given up monogamy and permanence, and so now it's not. That's two of the three legs gone, and so now this assault was waged on the procreative part of it, and it was difficult to withstand it because the institution had already been weakened. So I agree with you there, but my answer to that is to try to reinforce what marriage is, not to just give up on it entirely. And I still think you're left with this question of, like, if marriage is not what I'm saying it is, then why do we even need it? What's the point? I mean, you're saying it's a man-made institution.
Yes.
But you're also, like, the way that you're presenting it, it's a totally meaningless institution. So
No.
you don't need it at all.
No, it's not meaningless. It's because it means something to the people that get married.
So it's